This is a recorded lecture for the IB-DP Design Technology, Topic A3.1.9, and we're focused on the circular economy. Biodegradable materials break down in the environment after disposal or at the end of their useful life. Students must be able to explain how biomaterials are part of the circular economy and can be used by designers to design out waste. So we're focused on that. How can you use biomaterials to design out waste in the circular economy model? So first, in order to understand the circular economy, you need to understand the linear economy. So this is basically the type of economy that we have. It's an economic model that follows a take, make, and dispose approach, leading to depletion of resources and waste. So we take natural resources, we extract them, we make things out of them, and then we dispose of them either in landfill or sometimes into the ocean or rivers, and they end up in the ocean. So this is the economic model that we mostly use. So things go either in landfill or they go into the ocean. Now, increasingly, we're using a more circular idea, and we'll talk about what that means in a minute. But let's talk about some problems with the linear economic model. So one of the first problems is with landfills. So when you bury a bunch of garbage underground, that garbage will degrade over time and it leaves gaps and holes, and you can end up with sinkholes caused by collapsing landfills. And that's exactly what this is right here. It's a big sinkhole that happened because a landfill subsided, and then you end up with exposed garbage, you end up with all kinds of environmental problems. Landfills generate a lot of odors and flammable gases and toxic gases as the garbage compacts and degrades over time. Specifically, methane is one of the ones that is really terrible. And methane is a really potent greenhouse gas. It attracts scavenging animals. So you have animals, and often these animals that are eating garbage, of course, are not the healthiest animals, and therefore they are vectors for diseases. Pollutants can get into the atmosphere and into the groundwater, and that can cause terrible problems for people who live there. Now, if we think about the circular economy, what we're trying to do is we're trying to take the waste and put it back into the system. So the circular economy is an economic model in which resources remain in use for as long as possible, from which maximum value is extracted while in use, and then the products and materials are recovered and regenerated at the end of the product's life cycle. What we're going to do is make, use, consume, make, consume, enrich. That's the idea here. And there's a couple of videos here that you should watch on the circular economy. The benefits of the circular economy is that it's a reduction of landfill waste. It increases scrap and reduction of demand for new materials. So you're not mining new materials out of the ground, extracting them out of the ground. You're using what you've already taken. There's less pollution and fewer scavenging animals. Now, when we think about our products, we should always be doing a life cycle analysis. So this is an assessment of the effect a product has on the environment through 5 stages of its life. That's from pre-production, production, distribution, and that includes packaging, utilization, and disposal. And so you can think of something like this. If we're using cotton, you can see that cotton is going to require a lot of water and a lot of fertilizer to grow. And then it goes to a factory where you're going to use a lot of lower water and you're going to use different chemicals and energy. It gets shipped using a lot of energy. It gets packaged using a lot of packaging, and that packaging needs to come from somewhere. And then it gets shipped to a store, so you're burning more energy and creating more CO2. At the store, you have to actually have a controlled environment. You can't just have an unheated or uncooled store, so you're going to need to heat and cool that store and have lights, and therefore there's a lot of energy embodied with a store. Person uses that product, and then of course when you get rid of it at the end of its useful life, what is it that you're doing with it? Are you disposing of it, or are you putting it back into the system? So life cycle analysis measures all of these stages and measures the energy that's being used, the pollution that's coming out, the water that's being used, everything that they can possibly measure about the pre-production, production, distribution, utilization, and disposal. So LCAs assess and balance environmental impact over a product's life cycle. They highlight areas with opportunities to reduce environmental impact, and it makes the designer think about changing product design to reduce the impact, such as green, or sustainable product designs. For instance, packaging. Are you using plastic or are you using paper or cardboard? The pre-production stage, how are we obtaining our natural resources? This can be very polluting, like strip mining, or they can have a smaller effect, like shaft mining. This includes transportation of the raw materials to processing industries. Production is the processing of resources to make a product. Can be damaging to the environment, like factories spewing out smoke, or have a small impact, like handcrafting children's toys. Distribution includes packaging, so includes taking a product from the factory to the warehouse, from the warehouse to the store, and the packaging that they use. This can have a large impact. It can be importation from very far away, or a low impact, it's locally produced. And of course, importation from far away is worse than locally produced. Utilization is the product's use and the effect it has on the environment. For instance, a diesel generator will pollute the air and make noise pollution, while a solar panel will generate less pollution and less noise. When we're talking about the disposal stage here, we need to think about the product and the methods of disposal. Recycling one aluminum can will make less environmental problems than just throwing one away. Biodegradable objects can be reused, recycled, or left to break down. And for instance, paper can be recycled because of the materials used to make it, while a banana peel is useless for anything but compost. You're not going to make a banana peel into a type of paper or something like that. All right, thank you for watching.